What's up everyone, Aaron here, Kite Paddle Surf, taking a look at some brand new 2025 Lib Tech boards. Got a couple new models and some other models they've had in their lineup with some new construction on these boards. So we're looking at the Super Smooth Operator. It's been a lost shape for quite a few years, and now it's getting done in the Lib Tech construction. Very popular mid-length, kind of your all-arounder as far as performance, but cruisy at the same time as well. So in this particular one, they've actually gone with some channeling in the tail, and that's just going to add increased water flow, also add more bite in the back of the board. So that's kind of something new that Lib Tech has added on their boards. 5-fin box. This is their new hammer box fin. And it just looks a lot nicer than the previous fin box that they use. The quality looks a lot nicer. Fins fit a little bit better. The tap system's great on these boards. So this one comes in like a 6.8 all the way up to like a 7.2, 7.3, somewhere around there. And great mid-length, awesome board. Great for that person looking to get on a little bit bigger board or on a long board. They want to get on a smaller board. Very cool board. Cool graphics too. Is the Party Platter. Now this has been out with Lost for about over a year or so, and very popular small wave board, similar to like a Puddle jumper, but more of kind of that long board shape, but just condensed down. So real flat rocker. So that's going to help you paddle into waves. It's going to glide down the face of a wave. It's going to carry a lot of speed. So these are all going to be in the ECO IMPACTO LITE construction. And essentially what they're able to do is shed about 1 pound of weight on these boards, which is pretty substantial, and still continue with that real durable construction. So great traveling, great going to the beach with rocky shorelines, coastlines. If you're going core and you're not wearing a leash and it goes up on the beach rocks, it's not going to ding up like a PU. This one in particular is a quad fin. So run as quad, or also you can run it as a twin, larger MR, or a little bit more of a rakeback keel. You can run this board. So great board for someone who wants to get into a shorter board and still wants some volume, wants that maneuverability, and having some fun on something like that. Cool graphics. It's pretty intense, so kind of gotta love it. I think it's pretty cool looking. So that's the Party Platter. The famous, been around for a long time, the Puddle jumper. So this board is just great board all around. It's always been kind of a go-to smaller, groveler board for a lot of people. It's got a little bit more pulled in the nose here versus that Party Platter. So you're able to get a little bit more radical on the waves, a little more vertical. Still a nice big healthy tail, a little bit of wing right here. It's going to help the back of this board release. Same construction. This one's running a 5-fin box, a little more versatility than that Party Platter. So quad fin, thruster, also run as a twin plus a trailer. So very cool board. New construction, new graphics, always a great board. Puddle jumper. Next board in their lineup they've had for a few years is the Quiver Killer. Popular board for people like traveling. Definitely aimed at more your intermediate and up surfer. Its volume's a little bit less, a little bit more pulled in the nose. Tail's more of that pintail, so definitely designed for better waves. It's not a grovel board per se. Versatility with the 5-fin box. Multiple fin options there as well. So similar shape, similar rocker, everything as a previous version, but just with this new construction. So lighter, faster, stronger. That's what we all want to do. If I had to choose one board, I would definitely, I've surfed to quite a few boards. I've gone up in volume a little bit just because I like to make my surfing easier. So right away, I'm going to go between the Super Smooth Operator or the Party Platter. But right now, I'm really on the mid-length program, so I probably would go this route just because I can literally take this out to the coast, and it could be 1 foot mush, and I would still have a great time on this, and it could be pretty good size. and I could still have a great time as well. The only issue I'm going to run into at just under 150 pounds is really duck diving. I'm just not going to be able to get this board under the waves when I'm paddling out if it was a bigger day. But besides that one factor, I feel like something like a mid-length, like a smooth operator, it's just, you can do so much with it. So if I had to choose one board, this is what I would get. So if I was going to set it up with fins, I probably would go, I'm a huge twin fin guy, so I probably would go twin fin plus trailer. I think that's plenty of hold, but enough release in the back of the board, so if you're surfing a board like this, you don't necessarily have to surf it like a short board with your foot all the way back over the fin cluster. You can have your foot kind of in this area, if it were flipped over, so you can kind of have your back foot in this area, front foot's going to be up here, so very snowboardy feel, and you can still maneuver the board. If you do get into that quad thruster, you're going to tighten this tail up a bit. You're going to probably need to get your foot further back, especially for me at 150 pounds. That's how I would set it up, because I think that's how it was intended to be surfed. A person kind of describes me, you really have to decide, are you going to surf vertically or are you going to surf horizontal? Vertical meaning, are you really getting low in your bottom turns and trying to go up and attack the lip? Then you need to go to Quiver Killer. And even these boards, you know, maybe not the party platter, that's kind of more of a shrunk down longboard, but something like the Puddle jumper, you know, those boards are really meant to go a little bit more up and down. If you're more of that horizontal surfer with like the swooping turns, kind of high line, dropping down low, really drawing out your turns and kind of going more for speed, longer rides, then mid-length is the way to go. If you're surfing once every 2 weeks, maybe a trip or two out a month if you're doing really well, then mid-length is just the way to go. It's just, if you're not surfing 2 to 3 days a week, going out on one of these smaller boards, you're going to have a tough time. I'm not saying you're going to have a tough time catching waves, but after an hour or so, you're going to feel aerobically way more depleted, because it just requires so much more body fitness to be on a shorter board. They're going to just sit in the water more. You're going to have to paddle harder into them. It's a lot more work riding a shorter board. So depending on where you are on that level, you can decide what board suits you. Now, the cool part about Lib Tech is that you have some great fin options. So Lib Tech makes their own in-house fins. These work really well with theirs. They're proprietary, so these are really only designed for Lib Tech boards. But really good high quality fins. Price point on these is substantially a lot better than an FCS fin. And I feel like the quality is there. They work really well with these boards. So something to consider, we stock all of the fins. There's quads. They also have thrusters as well. So depending on which model you choose, they also have sizes. So there's a medium and a large. So if you're a larger person and you need the bigger fin, we got those. Medium, smaller riders as well. And they also have 5 fin sets as well. But with all of those fin boxes that I just showed you, they are FCS2 compatible. So, which is cool. So some people already have FCS fins, so you can drop those in, no problem. You may have other boards that are FCS and you want to get a Lib Tech board, you're able to use those fins between the models. So I just grabbed out here a Mark Richards twin trailer. Great board for something like Smooth Operator or like the Puddle Jumper, maybe even the Quiver Killer on smaller days. And then you can also run original FCS 2-tab fins. So you may have some of these laying around that you really like to use. These still work in that fin box as well because they have the 2 screws to go in. So anyways, those are really cool. A lot of versatility with these boards. Lib Tech's a great Washington-made brand, right? Made in Port Angeles, just a few hours away from us. So we're always excited to have these boards in here. Great following. It's a great board, great traveling, great for going to the coast. So we're really excited on these new Lib Tech boards. If you have any more questions, hit us in the comments down below. If you've already gotten out, surf some of these models, share what you think on these boards, and just kind of let other people know what you think about them. So thanks again for tuning in. Catch you guys on the next one.